What's up, y'all? Welcome to Run It Back. I'm your host, Blair Bomber, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a little movie called Roadhouse. We're talking about Roadhouse. You guys like Roadhouse? I'm sorry, I can't do it. Yeah, I'm talking about Roadhouse, guys. You know what's messed up about this movie is, among the many things, is I had not seen it, which is pretty messed up considering I'm the guy who's been saying for a while now that if I ever do get a tattoo, it's going to be a Patrick Swayze's face. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. Okay? Ghost, Dirty Dancing. Ghost, Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing. I mean, Dirty Dancing, guys. Come on. And I had the time of my life. And I owe it all to you. No, but for real, Point Break's my favorite movie of Patrick Swayze. He's so good. He's incredible. And Speed. He was great in Speed 2, Cruise Control. Don't fact check that. He was the lead of Speed 2, Cruise Control. Patrick Swayze. Okay, but look, I'm just going to go into it because the movie was amazing. But not for the reason I think they wanted it to be amazing. All right, so I mean, dude, I'm just gonna start. I made a bunch of notes when I was watching it because I was enjoying it so much. I had to remember all the things about it while it was going on. All right, so from the top of this movie, Patrick Swayze. So I can never decide how I want to do this. Does it make more sense to just say Patrick Swayze every time, or to say the character he plays in the movie? I think I'm going to go with his character. Okay, so he plays the character of Dalton. By the way, if you ever introduced yourself as just your last name, I hate you. You're the worst. I want to sneeze into your eyes. My name's Dalton. You can call me Dalton. No, what's your full name? What's your actual name? Tell me your full name. Okay? You're not a character in a sitcom from the 90s. That's not what I want. I'm like, dude, Kramer. No, get out of here. No, I'm done with it. Look at me, I'm just breaking stuff. This is what I get for recording a podcast on a flimsy table. But look, at the top of this movie, he gets into a fight. The guy sticks him in the arm with a knife, and then he just laughs it off. And the next scene, there's Dalton in his office sewing it up. He's still bleeding. He hasn't disinfected the thing. That's how you get gangrene. Again, do not fact check that. That's exactly how you get gangrene. I also love when he's sitting there and he goes, I gotta take it for you right here to fly out. Because look, okay, I'm assuming everyone here has seen Roadhouse. If you haven't, go watch Roadhouse and then listen to this. I know that no one's going to do it like that, so I'm just kind of hoping everyone who listens to this has seen Roadhouse, because I'm not going to just go step by step telling you the whole story. If you want to do that, you just watch the fucking movie. Okay, I don't see the point of trying to talk about a movie while it's playing in the background or just describing what's going on. I'm just going to hit the highlights of the absurdities of this movie. Roadhouse, aka the greatest movie of all time. So look, the guy that hires him to be the new bouncer at his bar gives him a plane ticket, says, hey, you can fly out tomorrow. And Dalton goes, I don't fly. Too dangerous. By the way, I'm aware that he doesn't have that accent, but sometimes it just kind of comes out of me. I feel like Patrick Swayze should have a southern accent in this movie, but he doesn't, and that's okay. But this movie could literally be called Rednecks and Tits. It could be called that. You call it Rednecks and Tits. That's what you could call it. And I think that it would be pretty. I'm just going to start naming off things, other titles that could have worked for this movie. Dude, at one point, he goes to this new bar that he's cleaning up, right? He's cleaning this new bar up. He's supposed to be the new head of security. And the old head of security, a fight breaks out, and he literally yells, "Fight!" And then everyone starts fighting. I've seen a number of fights. None have ever broken out into an actual brawl. Because no one, it doesn't happen. You're not sitting there drinking your beer, talking to your friend or to a girl, and then a fight breaks out in the bar, and you turn and start beating the shit out of the guy you were just talking to casually. That does not happen. Unless you're in the movie Roadhouse. Then it happens 14 times throughout the entire movie. It's amazing. It really is. Like, and the fighting is just... Oh, we'll get into the fighting in a little bit. There's a scene when he's cleaning up, he's kind of finding out who on his staff is not going to work out. And he goes into the one of the back offices, and he sees one of the bartenders. Or, no, he sees one of the other bouncers fucking this chick. And he's just going to town. And Dalton, I'm just going to call him Swayze. I can't do it. I don't want to call him by his fake movie name. He's always Swayze. No matter who he is in any movie, he's just Swayze. And I do enunciate. I know it's Swayze, but I like to say Swayze. I should probably say his name right. It's Swayze. SWAYZE. Look, Swayze walks in. He walks in and he goes, "You're done," or "You're fired," or whatever he says. And the guy is still, he's on the clock, and he's fucking this girl on the premises, and he's fucking her, and his one-liner back is like, "But I'm on my break." And then Swayze goes, "Stay on it." And then Ferris Bueller busts out a red Corvette, and they just go and have fun in Chicago. I think one of the most ridiculous parts of this whole movie was when he goes and he gets hurt, and he goes to the doctor. By the way, Dr. Dime. Ooh, she's a dimey. Whew. Whew. Just want to... But she's talking to him, and she's going over his file, right? And she starts reading off the stats of all the injuries he's had. And it reads like this: 9 staples, 31 broken bones, 2 bullet wounds, 9 puncture wounds, 4 stainless steel screws. And then she says, "That's an estimate, of course." How the fuck is it an estimate when you're reading it? You have his file. It's not an estimate. You're reading his medical file. That has to be exact. Can you imagine if you went into a doctor and he's like going through your file and it's like, "Oh, well, so you've had a couple of stitches, a handful of staples, and I see you've broken some bones." Can't be exact, though. No, you have to be exact. You need to know. I'm allergic to penicillin. If I ingest penicillin, I will die. If I go into a doctor's office and he's like, "Well, I see you're allergic to some stuff," well, that's an estimate. I'll figure it out. No, she's not credible in this at all. That's an estimate, of course. And then she's trying to sew him up because he got sliced in the ribs, I think, or in the abdomen somewhere. He got shanked. Well, it wasn't much of a shank, more like a deep cut, because shank implies that you puncture straight in. He was more, Freddy Krueger to the aside. And she tries to give him some pain meds, and he says no, and she looks at him crazy, and he says, by the way, there are so many. I'm just gonna go through there's so many great lines. He says to her, dead serious. He goes, "Pain don't hurt." Could you imagine saying that to an actual doctor? That doctor would laugh in your face. And then he would do a psych evaluation because you are clearly a sociopath. Who do you mean pain doesn't hurt? That's like in that movie, was it Face Off? No. I think it was Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes. This guy is trying to get his face, plastic surgery to change his face. And the surgeon's about to cut into his face. He's like, "I'm going to give you anesthesia." He's like, "No, there will be no pain." Dude, has anyone ever splattered grease on themselves before? It hurts. It hurts immediately. And then it hurts in the shower later. It just hurts. This whole no pain thing. Like, even the toughest guy in the world's like, yeah, when I snap my arm in 4 places, it hurt a little bit. He might not show that he's in pain because he's a tough guy, but just to outright say pain don't hurt, that's the dumbest thing you could ever say. That's just stupid. That's like saying water won't be wet. It's like saying pain don't hurt is like saying hot won't burn. What? What are you saying? Who are you? I love that they try and make Swayze seem like super wise beyond his years, and he does a couple times. There's one line when he's talking. This is after the woman sews him up, and he says the dumbest thing that anyone's ever said: "Pain don't hurt." She goes, "Do you ever win a fight?" And he goes, "Nobody ever wins a fight." That is incorrect, because that's not how fighting works. When you fight someone and you choke them unconscious, which is what happens a lot sometimes in MMA and in the UFC, people get choked unconscious all the time. And then the referee will hold up somebody's arm declaring you are the winner, and also here's your money you got for winning. I guess that's a sport though. But he does make a point, I guess. No one ever wins a fight, because when you fight, you lose because you fought somebody and you hurt somebody, and you should never hurt anybody ever again. But the first half of this movie is him just saying, don't fight anyone. Don't fight. I don't fight. You shouldn't do that. Let's just de-escalate it. And then the second half of the movie is just him murdering people. He's just killing people. He kills so many people in this movie. And it's like, what a 180. In the beginning, he's like, you know what, guys, you just gotta make sure, and you de-escalate it until there's no other choice. And then he has so many choices, and he's like, I'm just gonna take your throat with me. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get to the throat rip in a second. His fighting style, I would say, is rather dirty. This is a direct quote from him in this movie. He goes, even the biggest guy in the world, smash his knee and he'll drop like a stone. So what you're telling me is, if I get into a fight, kick them straight in the kneecap. That's worse than kicking somebody in the nuts, honestly. And I think it would be almost harder to just kick someone like directly, because you're not going to side kick them because no one's good at that. So you're saying I should just front kick, trying to catch him straight in his kneecap? Dude, I'd rather you kick me straight in the dick. Kick me in my knee, and now, like, you're gonna cripple me. I'm making a mess, and I'm being drunk in a bar, and I'm like, no, you don't push me, and you kick me right in the knee, dude. That's the worst advice ever. He's bigger than you. Kick him in the knee. I mean, I'm a small guy, and I've never once been like, all right, this guy is 6'6", 300 pounds. If I kick him in his knee, he's going to drop like a stone because gravity. Stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. There's another great line he has in this where he goes, dude, these are just some of the best like lines ever in a movie. He goes, do you want to fight? And then he says, well, I sure ain't gonna show you my dick. Why are you talking about your dick? And he's asking him, do you want to fight? That's a yes or no question. So why would you say, and if someone says to me, you know what, honestly, you can ask anybody who knows me. If they said the words, do you want to fight to me, I would probably just show them my dick. Like, I don't want to fight you. Can you just look at my dick? I'm just gonna pull my dick out. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Will that make you want to fight me more or less? And if it makes you want to fight me more, you're a homophobe. And now we have to fight because it's not cool to be a homophobe. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is kick the guy in the knee and then show him your dick. Dude, this movie could be called Attempted Murder. ... No consequences. Because that's what's happening. That's what most of this is. People are trying to kill each other, and then they just and then nothing happens. Like, no, in the first half, no one really gets killed, but people are trying to kill each other the entire time, and then no one. I feel like you see the guys in the next scene like, "Hey, tried to kill you, but I guess the cops just weren't copping today." It doesn't make any sense. Okay, but all right, let's talk about the fight scene by the lake. Great fight scene. You know, it's got everything you want. They're both going back and forth. You know, Swayze's got some good other guys. He's clearly at Swayze's level. They're doing the thing where they're like, he's got all these moves. I'm trying to memorize. It's like the Matrix. They're really getting after it. And then the tough talking comes in, and that's when it gets exciting. The dude that Swayze is fighting, I don't know his name. Not even in the movie. Don't know his name. Can't remember. He's the bad guy. The bad guy says to him, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison." That's the most unintentionally funny line I have ever heard. I used to fuck guys like you in prison. So what, am I your type? Are you telling me I'm your type? Are you saying you like blonde? Because you said you used to fuck guys. You fucked multiple guys in prison? Come on, man. Why are you just outing yourself like that? So you're gay. That's fine if you're gay. If you're gay, that's fine. Totally fine. And you're clearly open about it because you just said, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison." But if I'm Swayze, I think it's almost fucked up. Swayze should have stopped fighting. Like, "Hey, man, are you saying you want to fuck me? Because I think you just said I'm your type." And then Swayze is so upset by this that he goes all the way to the point of ripping his throat out. He grabs him by the neck and rips his esophagus out. And then we have the first real moment in this whole movie. Because his girl, the doctor, watches him murder somebody. And then she runs over to the guy to see if he's actually dead. He is. His throat's ripped out. It's on the ground. Swayze grabbed it with his bare hands and pulled it out. Which I don't know if you could even do that. If you can, pretty fucking dope. But movie world, it's awesome. In real life, I don't want to see somebody get their throat ripped out. Sounds traumatizing. But anyway, the doctor sees him rip this throat out. And then she goes up to him and she looks at him in horror. It's like, "Oh, dude, you are a murderer. You just murdered this guy. I watched you kill somebody." And her reaction, I think, says everything. She's like, "What did you just do? I can't even believe you killed somebody. I got to get out of here. You're a murderer." Smart. I mean, she doesn't go that far because it's Swayze. Swayze's the kind of guy you watch him kill 4 people and you go and suck his dick afterwards. I think that's what anybody would do. I'm not saying I would do that, but I think the guy in the movie would do that because clearly he likes to fuck dudes. There are just so many things that happen that don't make any sense. Like, okay, so after he rips the guy's throat out, right? Rips the throat out. Okay. Then he just floats the body across this pond. Because Swayze is staying in the farmhouse across the pond. And I'm not talking like the pond like the English Channel. Wait. It's not the channel. It's the across the pond would be the Atlantic Ocean. That's what that's referring to. That is what you could call a long distance away. If there's going to be mortal enemies, they should be that far away. They shouldn't be 300 feet away, like in this movie. How in a hurry were they when they wrote this movie to say, "Okay, look, we're gonna have Swayze in this farmhouse. Okay, but where's the main villain gonna be? Oh, we're gonna have him right next. They're gonna be neighbors. Be right next door, literally a pond away." Wait, a pond like the Atlantic Ocean? No. Like an actual small pond that you would go swimming in as a kid. Oh, okay. So that's cool because then when Swayze rips that guy's throat out for no apparent reason other than they were just fighting to fight, as the entire movie is them just fighting to fight each other, then he'll just push the body across the pond and send a message. Swayze kind of seems like the asshole in that situation. Maybe that's just me. This movie could be called "Where Are the Police?" I think that would be a more accurate title than Roadhouse. So what do we have right now? We have Rednecks and Tits, alternate number 1, alternate number 2, attempted murder, ... no consequences. Alternate title number 3, Where Are the Police? I think we're on a roll here with that. That's pretty good. Another one you could call? Kick him in the knee. I would watch a movie called Kick Him in the Knee. Would you? I mean, I wouldn't watch the whole thing. I'd watch like the first 15 minutes of it and see if you kick anybody in the knee in the first 15 minutes. Because if you're gonna kick somebody in the knee, if you're gonna call your movie Kick Him in the Knee, and you don't kick anybody in the knee in the first 15 minutes, fuck off. Get out of here. All right, let's skip ahead because basically, after he rips the guy's throat out, we just have to have this standoff. And you know what really pissed me off about this movie is this whole time it's this older white dude who's had all these henchmen, all this power. He's got the police are in his back pocket. He's doing all this fucked up shit. And he's all these young henchmen that are like fighting for him and do all this shit. And Swayze is fighting 4 or 5 guys at a time. No big deal. The entire time. At the very end of it, goes to this guy's place to fight him, and he's having a hard time fighting this guy. Which is annoying because the guy is old. I mean, I know he's not like 31 broken bones, Swayze old, but still, he's pretty old. Oh, and the dude, the guy goes downstairs into his trophy room, and he's all these animals mounted on his wall. He has a walrus mounted on his wall. A walrus. How hard do you think it was to kill a walrus? Seriously, I'm asking a serious question. Do you think it was that hard? Where are walruses found? Like the big ones. Alaska? I don't know. Where you find walruses at? I can't imagine that it was... Hey, what? You got to catch it when it's on the ice? And you put it... The guy's clearly using guns to kill things. You just put... How is that unless you're in the water with a spear, which this guy is clearly not. He's an old white guy. There's no way he's doing that like that. You just killed a... And then how do you stuff a walrus? I don't understand. Can you even stop? Can you taxidermy a walrus? Could you imagine going to somebody's house and a walrus on the wall with the big tusk? You'd be like, why do you have this? He'd be like, well, a more dangerous game tells me that the walrus is. It's like, are you listening to a Beatles song? Well, he probably did too much acid. It's like, I gotta kill the walrus to be the walrus. That's what John Lennon was talking about. To kill the walrus, it'll make you be to be the walrus, you gotta kill a walrus. Again, so many unintentionally funny things. And then, so just like the production side, where did they find a walrus? They have somebody. Hey, could you imagine? You're like in like the set department, set decoration, set whatever that part of making movies is, and someone's like, okay, look, we're gonna have we're gonna need like lion heads, maybe some tigers. Maybe even an elephant. You just have an elephant head, right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, we get all those things, no problem. Do you have a walrus head? What? Yeah, you have a walrus head. No. Why would we have Okay, I need you guys to make a walrus head. I think it'd be easier if we just killed a walrus. Okay, do that then. Go kill the walrus, and then we'll do that. This whole movie is insane. Got a walrus head on the wall. It's amazing. It's the best movie of all time. Okay, so this final fight. Here's another direct quote from the movie. He's fighting the guy at the end. And he goes, what does he say? He pulls out a gun, and he says, I'm going to kill you the old-fashioned way. Like they were just fighting hand to hand. That is the old-fashioned way is before there were guns or knives or sword. By the way, when was the last time anybody was killed by a sword? Sword? When was the last time? It's been a while. So the oldest of old-fashioned ways is killing somebody with your bare hands. Why are you saying, I'm going to kill you the old-fashioned way with my 6-shooter? Put your hands up. Sir, actually, old-fashioned would be like with your hands. So if you put the gun down, and you could follow through on your word of what you said about it being the old-fashioned way. I meant the new-fashioned way. Okay, no one says the new fashion. You would just say the new way. Shut up. And he like misses or hits him in the shoulder. He like wings him. Another hilarious thing to me is when anybody shoots somebody from point blank range and doesn't kill them. How do you miss? You're 3 feet away. You could spit and hit them. How can you aim your spit better than you can aim a gun? I remember this is like a little side story. One time there was like, we're at this YMCA And they did this whole thing where you would spit sunflower seeds on this like big paper track, so you could spit the farthest. And I walked up and I spit my sunflower seed, and I thought I had one more, but then I swallowed it by accident, but was still in like the spit phase. So I just spit a loogie, like a fat loogie across it, and it landed on that. And they looked at me like I was an animal. And I was embarrassed for sure. I didn't really know what to say. But looking back and thinking about it now, it's like, yo, everyone is spitting. And it's worse that I spit my own spit as opposed to this seed that you gave me out of a big box of seeds. You're the worst. Don't shame me. Don't spit shame me. I won that contest, by the way. I spit one like 30 feet. And then I went home because I wanted to see what the Guinness. I was like 10. And I thought that I was going to be. Like, I was like, I spit that thing pretty far. I wonder what the world record is for spitting a sunflower seed. I went home. I didn't go home. I went to the school library the next day and looked up the longest spit, and it was like 105 feet. That's a long way to spit a sunflower seed. I was like, I'm not going to. And then I gave up on trying to break world records. Okay, so he's fighting the guy at the end, and he's doing his thing, right? And he's kicking the shit out of him. And then he has this moment where he sees the guy's throat, and his hand makes that claw shape with his hand, like that he used to rip the first guy's throat out. And he looks at his hand and contemplates the throat rip. Like, this'll change me. I can't rip his... And then he just chooses not to. He just straight up doesn't rip his throat out, lets him go. And he's like, I am a good guy. I don't rip throats out all the time. Just one of the times. Once is enough. You rip one person's throat out, I'm sorry, dude, but I don't know if we can hang out. Hey, did you hear Jake rip that guy's throat out last week? What? He ripped his throat out? Yeah, ripped it all the way out. With his hand? Yeah. You just want to get beers afterwards? No, I don't want to look at... What if it was my... What if I can't make jokes to him? I can't make fun of him anymore for his stupid tattoos. If he's capable of ripping out my throat, I can't hang out with him. Someone shoots someone, okay. I'm just going to assume he doesn't have a gun on him all the time. Different situation. But if he killed someone with his bare hands via throat rip, we can't be friends. We're not getting beers. And your tattoos are cool. I take back everything I said about your tattoos being lame. They're really cool. Also, don't talk to me anymore. But of course, he doesn't rip the guy's throat out. And then the guy grabs a gun, because of course he does. Swayze kicked the gun away. You let him go. Now make sure he doesn't have a weapon on him. Okay? And then all the guys from the town show up. His boss, another dude that used to run that store. They just pop out of. They're all of a sudden in this guy's. They're in this guy's trophy room all of a sudden. I don't know how many entrances there are, but when Swayze is fighting this guy in the basement, it seems like there's only one entrance down the stairs. And then all of a sudden the other guys are just down there with shotguns. And they gun him down like it's a gangland murder on Vice. What? Dude, that's almost more disturbing than the throat rip. 3 guys with shotguns. They pointed at the one guy and they're like, hey, by the way, it's time for you to go. You've been 86th. That's an industry term for when you throw somebody out of a bar. They've been cut off. They're gone. And the best part is 3 dudes shoot this guy with a shotgun, essentially murdered him in cold blood. The guy was almost, I think he had a gun on him, but still, he wasn't going to shoot anybody. It was 3-1. He's not going to kill anybody. They don't even tell him to put it down. They just shoot him. They execute him. This movie ends with an execution, and then the cops show up. And the cops show up. They go to this guy's place. All right, this is one of the biggest. I can get on board with the throat rips and the patching up my own wound, kicking him in the knee. I can even get on board with the throat rip a little bit because you got grip strength and you got that kung fu grip. I'm pretty sure that you can rip the guys a little. If you can get in that, that little nook below the Adam's apple, I bet you could. I bet it wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to really dig in there if you wanted to. But at the end, these 3 guys execute this dude in his home. They're on this guy's property. They're in his home. And the cops come down and they get rid of all the guns. All the guns. They put like, shit, get the guns away. Get out of here. Move the guns somewhere else. And the sheriffs walk in. These are police officers. They walk into the basement of this guy's house. See him laying dead. Multiple gunshot wounds. Swayze's all fucked up. He's got his ass beat by an old man, by the way. Which is, what? Swayze. You're supposed to be the man. The old guy was giving you what for? Yeah, he was throwing spears at you. But I feel like if anybody's throwing a spear at me and he's over 65, the dude has to get up 4 times to take a piss every hour. I feel like he's not really javelining that bitch at me from across the room with any sort of accuracy. Whatever. And the cops come down and they're like, what happened here? What happened here? And then one by one, all of the characters, the good guys, say, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Not me either. Didn't see anything. Oh, so the guy just took 3 shotguns. You can just infer it. Any kind of police work, everyone's going to prison. Everyone. The dude whose throat he ripped out is still in the pond outside. This could be called murder. Murder and murder? Question mark? Nah. That's what you call it. You call murder? Question mark? Nah. It's unbelievable. It is the greatest movie of all time, though. It's the greatest movie of all time. For everything I've said, I'm gonna watch it again tonight, most likely. It's so good. Swayze. I was saying Swayze earlier. Swayze, I think, is the name of that shitty 2-man band that had the "Way Me My I gotta stop singing, man. I'm losing listeners. Whatever. I got 5. Hey, I know you like this episode because you're still here. If you're still here, you clearly like me. Go and, like and subscribe and share. And leave a comment that says, hey, man, Blair. Someone leave a comment that says, hey, Blair, you're really killing the podcast, baby. No, don't say baby. Hey, Blair, you're really killing the podcast, babe. That's all I want. If I could have more than one of those two, if you see someone that writes that, hey, write it again. I want to just write it over and over again. Hey, babe. No. Wait, what did I say? Hey, Blair. You're killing the podcast, babe. Just do that for me, please. All right, this was fun. This was a nightmare. In the best way, which is what Roadhouse always will be. Watch Roadhouse and then listen to this podcast if you haven't. I promise you will enjoy me a lot more. All right, that's it. I apologize for that last at the end. That's really annoying. I shouldn't have done that. It's like I'm doing drugs. Whenever someone's doing that in public, they're clearly on drugs. So make sure they don't do it too much, okay? All right, get out of here. I'm out of here. You guys get out of here. This has been fun.